Andrew, okay, of course, the picture you paint is very gloomy, and of course, it's a reality. If any person is out there listening to us, and this person is conscious of what is happening in Nigeria, he understands that he or she understands that what you're talking about is the reality on ground. Nigeria is actually like a kind of standing on a keg of gunpowder. So,
Very well.
what we should be conscious of is how do we navigate out of this tension so we can
Mm.
save our life, because we know we have a taste of horror, and that
Mm-hmm.
the effect of that 3 years
Very
of
well.
war
Mm-hmm.
has have been very devastating to the history of this country, and
Very
we know
well, sir.
how it has affected us up to this point. So it is very
Very well.
important that we tread very carefully, and like you correctly
Very well.
said, you cannot destroy this country and go somewhere to hide. There is no place for you to hide.
Hey,
So
thank you, sir.
the only option is to build, because this is the only country that we have. This country turned 61 years today. It is
Very
our
well.
responsibility to look at this country, look at where we are going wrong and what we can do to get it right. But
Mhm.
so that we can have a context of who is talking, can you like let people know what you do?
I'm an activist, I'm a public affairs analyst, I'm a social critic, and I'm a Pan-Africanist crusader. I advocate, of course, I have an NGO, Africa Youth in Leadership Improvement and Crime Prevention Initiative. The reason why it's like that, because we want to build youth leadership, youth into into leadership capacity that are void of crimes. We want to ensure that we have youth who are futuristic oriented. That is the kind of NGO that I run. I fight the government to ensure that they are accountable. Of course, we have political affiliate, political association, but the truth remains, part of the things we do for years. I've been a student unionist, and as a student unionist, we are apolitical. All we do is to ensure that we fight for the goal of the common man. We fight for the people who are hopeless. We ensure that we put smile in the faces of those who are hopeless, who believe there's no hope again. We ensure that we live our life for them. That is what we do. We fight from everywhere to ensure that the government put the interests of the people at heart. Of course, I've traveled around everywhere in this country, some part of the Africa countries, and we're still trying to get more international support to see how we can travel far and wide to ensure that we seek international audience to give us a good backing to fight this cause very well. So we're fighting to ensure that the real true African that Kwame Nkrumah fought for, the real true African that Nelson Mandela fought for. Those are the kind of Africa that we want. Africa liberations, Africa that owns Africa, Africa that could dictate what should happen in Africa, Africa that the currency will be revalued, Africa that could stand head to head with the international community. These are the more reasons why the likes of us are not even interested in traveling out of this continent, because we believe in the Africa project, we believe in the Africa dream. We believe that Africa can be one of the best continents of the world. Of course, we have resources in the world that many parts of the world don't even have. Of course, this is an Africa where you see other international community, they are coming to exploit us, to exploit our resources. They are taking advantage of our ignorance. One situation whereby the Africa continent will be a continent where the international community will be begging to travel to, not we begging to travel to abroad, because they don't have what we have. All we just lack is leadership capacity. So we're trying to build people into leadership to ensure that they actually breed the Africa of our dream, that could stand head to head with the Europeans, with the Americans, with the Asians. We want to build an Africa that believe in themselves. We want to build Nigerians that believe in themselves, that believe in this dream, in this project called the Great Africa Continent. This is what we stand for. And we will stand for it until the Africa dream is liberated. And we're not going to give up. We're going to do everything possible to ensure that we leave a legacy in the sands of time.
All right, that is very important. Now, before we move to the 60s, how would you describe the youth participation in politics today as it currently stands in Nigeria?
Nigeria youth right now are actually discouraged in terms of, should I use the word youth participation in politics? They are not too much encouraged because our leaders have actually discouraged them, have discouraged them from participating in the corridors of power. But we are trying to ensure that we encourage them to come back to politics. Because if we say because our leaders have destroyed our political future, we will leave it for them. The truth remains, these guys are not ready to repent. So youth are struggling to come into politics. Few of us that are there, we're trying to see how we can refine the system, refine the process. Although we're being denied of series of opportunities, but we're fighting tooth and nail to ensure that we get into helms of affairs so that we can actually change things. Because we've criticized and criticized and criticized over the years. You know, of course, we've been preaching this over the people. Our leaders have said, our teachers have told us we're the leaders of tomorrow. But we've said, no, we're no longer the leaders of tomorrow. We're the leaders of today. We want to take over today. Because leaders of tomorrow have become like, you know, a deceit, you know. You've been telling us the leaders of tomorrow since I was born. And people that think that leaders today, they're still the one at the ends of affair. Since when I was born, you understand? Buhari was in power since when I was born. Today, Buhari, since when I was born, they told me I'm leaders of tomorrow. And today, Buhari is still a president. And he was the president when I was born. Now he's still a president. And I'm even seeing still going old. So we don't want that again. That's what we're saying. We are the leaders of today and want to take over power by all means at all costs. And how do you do that? Of course, you need to be involved in political activities. You need to go back to grassroots. You need to involve in civic activities. You need to register and belong to a political party. You know, so we advocate for all these things. We ensure that even most political parties will advocate that look, if you want to be voted into power, let's see your manifesto. Let's be sure that your manifesto have the interest of the youth at heart. How many percentage are you giving to the youth, both at your level of appointment and your level of electioneering? You know, what is the number of percentage you're giving to the youth and women? We want to see the number of affirmative action. How many percent affirmative action are you giving to the youth? How many percent affirmative action are you giving to the women? Is it 30? Is it 20? Is it 25? So, and what age grade are you looking at? So, if we see all these things and we see political parties that are practicing it, you know that youth will be interested. And how many political parties are doing their best to ensure that money politics is reduced gradually, drastically, because that's still one of the disadvantages that youth are facing. If we can reduce money politics to a very high level to ensure that money is discouraged in the political practice, so that the youth will be fully involved in politics, because there is a high level of poverty even among the youth. That's one of the things that causes level of crime in the country, high level of crime in the country, because the poverty rate is high. Of course, it's not an excuse, you know, for someone to be involved in crime because of poverty. It's not an excuse. But to some extent, if you can create an industries, create agencies, create employment, ensure that investors and everyone, see, let me tell you something. These things are not magic. I tell somebody, no matter what it takes, if you are a governor or you're a local government chairman or even as a councillor, with the opportunity of your portfolio that you hold, you could actually attract an investors. You already tell an investor, meet production company that look, I have land, I could give you land. I'll give you security. I will protect you. For example, we have 6 local governments in Abuja. What you need to do as maybe a minister of FCT, just start with 6 companies first of all. That different company, not even the same company, different 6 production industries, that I want each industry to be located in each local government. Ensure that you give them good soft landing. Reduce the VAT and interest rates for them. Give them free land to install the industry. Ensure that you provide power for them. When you're done with that, that's 6 local government. Within that same year, you can provide healthcare facility for the 6 local government. Within that same year, you can actually provide good pipe-borne water for that 6 local government. Now, if you have 4 years to do, the next year, you can say, okay, we're going on infrastructure. Every road in this local government, at the same time, let engineer, contractors start projecting all the roads in the 6 local governments. Give it to 6 different contractors. In fact, indigenous contractors, not foreign contractors, to ensure that you mandate them. For me to give you a job, you must employ people in that local government. What are you doing? You are creating employment. You are reducing crime in the society. These are simple mathematics. These are simple logics. You know, but because these people, they don't think, they don't have vision, all they're interested in power. That is why you see their brain is formatted. There's nothing going on up there. All they know is about money. They're not interested in leaving legacy in the sands of time. So when you're raising all these things, so that this is really skyrocket, is it really magic? Though? Is it difficult to do? There's money to execute all these things. There are ministries and agencies in charge of all these things. You bring budget will ensure that somebody like me now that grew up in the streets. You tell me if I become a local government or a governor or a senator tomorrow, you tell me you come out that I don't know how much things are being priced. You can't give me an overestimated budget when I know how much is granite and I know how much they sell tractor, I know how much they do this. It's actually easy to do these things when you are the corridors of power. It's easy because the money, the resources is there to do it. Just take what belongs to you, what belongs to the people, use it to work for them. You know why you say people at the corridor of power are not effective? They take what belongs to them, they take what belongs to the people to accumulate wealth for the children yet unborn. Why will I accumulate wealth for my children yet unborn? All I need to do is just to leave a legacy for them. My legacy, they will live on my legacy. That's my orientation in life. I should just make sure I am fine. I take care of them and create a future for them. Then from there, they pick it up from themselves. I don't need to accumulate wealth for my children. I only need to create a future for them. These are simple matters. These are the orientation I have.